Good morning, everyone. It's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are going to try and squeeze in 26 minutes of training before my lessons start for the day. And I know, it's extremely early. What am I doing streaming? But no, the rest of today, I've got a completely jam-packed day, and I don't know when I'm going to stream otherwise. So yeah, let's get some training in. Hopefully this helps me even wake up a bit, but somehow I've woken up with a fair amount of energy. So yeah, let's make the most of it. So let's just get into training and let's do some intermediate exercises. Right, let's go. And I see we have 2 people in chat, so feel free to make yourself known, or if you'd rather stay anonymous, that's fine too. Let's begin some training. So, okay, black's got queen bishop, white's got queen bishop, black's got 3 pawns, white's got 3 pawns. Anything else to note? The bishops are eyeing each other up. The white king is quite exposed. The black king is also exposed but does have a window. If this was a blitz game, I'd probably play this just on the premise that, you know, we are cutting off the king in several ways, so it feels like it could be promising. But probably this isn't the best move. So, okay. Anything else to note? Queen is protected by the bishop. Our queen is loose. Okay, so what candidate moves do we have? Well, what are our checks? We've got check here, check here. The other checks aren't looking so safe. And we really don't have enough material to be sacrificing queens. Okay, what about captures? Don't see any captures, so what about threats? Maybe this is a really nice threat. Play f5. Try and give a check on e4. h4 is also a big threat to give queen g3 and pick up the queen. Although, okay, the bishop is defending it, but for instance, okay, h4, if they take our bishop, then queen g3 would be strong. Maybe g5 is a threat as well, trying to get in g4 to bring in another attacker. Okay, so let's start calculating all of these. Let's start with our checks, I guess. I mean, let's begin with this instinct, even if it's probably wrong. The king can go here or here. So check, the king goes here. The only move that looks promising to me is h4. Which is in fact checkmate, except for the fact that the king can take. But then there doesn't seem to be a follow-up. We can play g5, but then they can always take. Feels like that's not going to work, and we haven't even calculated here yet. So let's look at something else. What about queen f1? Queen f1, if they go king e4, they can also play king g3. This feels a bit more promising, because if king g3 now h4, if they were to take it, we could take on f4, but I guess they could always go king g4. Somehow that king is running away, although we can take on g2. King f5. Then we've got this check and we pick up the bishop, so maybe this is promising actually. Queen f1, king g3, h4. And if they take, we just take here, and then give checkmate. So okay, it looks like king g3 is not possible. Maybe we want to double check our analysis there, but if king e4 is forced, then what's our follow-up here? I guess we can take on g2 actually. And if they go king e4, then we could give a check here. King g6. And at the very least take the bishop, because there's probably no check because I can take on a8. Way too early for Woodpecker. What is this? I know, Dylan. I know. But I've just got a crazy busy day. And yeah, I had an extra half an hour before my chess lesson starts. So I was just like, you know what? Let's just bang it out. But yeah, this queen f1 is looking pretty good. How was Germany, by the way? And how was the Vietnamese dinner? The red curry. Did you go for tofu or just vegetable? Like, I'm honestly so jealous. I wish I could have that for lunch or something. But yeah, this looked really good. This queen takes g2. So I think king f5 was losing, but if king here, I guess we could take on h3, win another pawn, and wherever the king moves, trade, and then probably we've got a winning endgame there. With the bishops the same color. So I think queen f1 is just winning. I don't know if I can be bothered to recalculate our analysis. His h4 seemed pretty strong. And what was my plan after king g4? Was it queen check on e2 or was it something different? Or was it taking on g2? Maybe it was taking on g2 actually. Because otherwise maybe the queen can block on f3. So it really looks winning. Okay, let's calculate it properly. Queen f1, king g3, h4 check, king g4, queen takes g2. If king f5, then I think we can go queen d5 and then pick up the bishop. So queen f1, king g3, h4, king g4, queen takes g2, king h5. At the very least, we can go queen d5 again. So okay, queen f1, king g3, h4, king g4, queen takes g2, king takes h4. Do we have a follow-up there? I guess we can go g5. If pawn takes, then queen takes is mate. If king h5... I mean, I'm pretty sure queen f1 is winning, but queen f1, king g3, h4, king g4, queen g2, king takes h4. There must be something here. g5 check, king h5. You can go queen takes h3 check, forcing king g6. What is this? Is queen h7 check, king takes f6 forced, queen g7 check. It feels like there must be something simpler, which I'm missing. Queen f1, king g3, h4, king g4, queen takes g2, king takes h4. Must be something. I wonder if there I could even go bishop h2. Just to avoid the trade. I have no idea. I'm gonna play it. I'm running out of time. We do get this line. I'm so certain that h4 has to be correct, but maybe it's worth considering alternatives. Nah, it's the only move that makes any sense. King g4, so we are getting the line that I was having issues with, because after queen takes g2 I couldn't see a win after king takes h4. So I wonder if we've got alternatives here. We can also give a check here. But I think this check I was a bit concerned with them blocking. So queen d2, king h4? Like, what's the win? What am I missing? g5? King h5? Maybe I can take on g5, threatening checkmate. Oh, and my queen is actually protecting a8, so there's no check. Oh, I think taking on f4 is probably just winning then. Yeah, it has to be winning. Okay, take on h4. What if they play h4 to try and cover the mating square on g5? Jesus Christ. Why am I finding so many good defensive resources for my opponent? King g2, queen h4. g5, king h5. G takes f4. h4. I guess I could go f5? Threatening queen g4 check? Does give my opponent a whole move, which I don't like. Is there anything else that I'm missing here? Queen g2, king h4. g5, king h5. King takes f4, h4. I can't believe this. Oh my god. I'm gonna spend the whole stream solving this one exercise. I swear to god. I mean, it has to be queen g2. Queen g2, king h4. I'm so annoyed I can't see this. g5, king h5. Surely takes on f4, and if h4, then maybe I just go queen g7. With the very slow plan of if they play queen a8, I want to go king h7 and then give a checkmate on g6, but then they can play like queen e4 check. It's unbelievable. This can't be right. This can't be right. But there's nothing better here than queen takes g2, right? And there's literally nothing better. I have to take this one. And it just says it's winning. It's so annoying. After king takes h4, there are several ways to win. g5, king h5, g takes f4. But what about h4? I mean, I literally saw this, right? So I think like the author, again, is being lazy here. Oh, there's queen d5. That's the move I can see. And that's the thing, like in this position, there are only two moves for advantage. Both queen d5 and queen e4, both of which are not that obvious. So massive L for Axel Smith, which is not not unusual. But yeah, h4 is a really nice resource to stay in the game for white. Interesting how he says there are multiple wins. I didn't feel that it was that clear. After king h4, let's just have a quick look. Yeah, so g5 was the best. Bishop h2 was also good, which is something I suggested. I was like, maybe this is the best way to play on. And king h7 I think I considered as well in my head. But it just feels a bit too slow. Like, you know, this queen g3 as the engine is suggesting seems decent. Oh, but then you can trade and pick up the bishop, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice if I could see it to the end with queen d5. Just need to look for all my checks in that final position, which probably I I don't know why that didn't cross my mind to just consider the checks. Yeah, it was hard to see. Okay, got this course after watching your previous stream. Let's go, Zenin. I mean, I have to say, I'm not a fan of the writing, and you will get triggered as well by the writing. And if you ever wonder why, read the first review on this Chessable course, because it kind of highlights everything that I have a problem with this course about. But having said that, you will get better doing it. And I don't exactly know why. I think it's just like doing a lot of tactics of this level. There are certain themes that occur again and again which are useful. So there are obviously like good aspects of the course. But man, it is infuriating at times. But if you're willing to, you know, put in some effort to yourself in terms of like trying to understand the positions because the author's been too lazy to like, you know, write it properly, then you should be fine. So yeah, glad I can inspire some good chess training. So okay, let's try and squeeze in at least one more, hopefully two. Okay, so we've got rook, rook, knight, bishop against rook, knight, bishop, bishop. So we're an exchange up. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against 6. So I mean, instinct is just to take here, which is probably terrible because they take with the knight and defend everything. So probably that's just bad. So we have an exchange up, but they have an extra pawn. What else is there to note? Okay, knight is feeling some pressure. Bishop is the only piece defending it, so maybe h6 or something. Bishop is loose on c2. Rook is on an open file. Rook is a bit passive. Maybe we've got a3 ideas. Bishop is like x-raying this pawn, x-raying this king. Rook is x-raying the pawn. Knight's got pressure on e4. I think that's about it. There's no checks on our king. Okay, so all in all then, what ideas do we have? What checks do we have? We have no checks. What captures do we have? We've got knight takes e4, got rook takes f6. And what threats do we have? We've got h6. Maybe knight e6 hits the bishop. A3 as I mentioned earlier. And maybe a calm move like rook d8 just as a backup. I know Woodpecker would never say rook d8, but you know, in real chess you need backups like this. So okay, let's calculate one by one. So knight e4, just to confirm, they just take on e4. And there's absolutely nothing. So, okay, not that. What about rook takes f6? This is probably horrendous. Bishop takes. Drop the pawn, we've lost the exchange. Why would we do that? H6 as a threat. If they move away, then we win the knight, which is good. But they can always go bishop h4. I guess another threat I've got is king g7, actually. If the knight h5, then I could go king g6, which looks promising, but maybe they just go knight g4. And again, doesn't feel like I have something in that position. a3, I mean, you can always just go b3. I don't think it's that strong. I mean, it's a useful move for sure, but it's not like winning something. Knight e6 was also interesting. Bishop h4 again is required due to the knight. Man, I don't know. Have I forgotten any candidates? I'm not going to check chat and just in case someone's mentioned the answer. They just saw something pop up. What am I missing though? Okay, and I've got 10 minutes before my lesson, so should try and wrap this up. Oh, what about bishop d8? I didn't consider this candidate. I'd also threaten to the knight. If they have to sack the exchange, we're very happy. If they move the knight, we win the bishop. Is that just winning on the spot? So bishop d8. It seems like the only move they can play to defend this is probably rook here. But then it looks like we just play bishop e7. And these squares are covered by our knight. So that's probably just winning. Let's be careful though. Can we throw in annoying moves like this? Not really. But what about after rook d6? Can we try something like this? Well, we can always take here. And if they take here, we take here, and then we're just up a lot of material. So I think bishop d8 is the winner. Bishop d8 does not win. Oh, because of bishop e3. Oh, that's nasty. So that's why you need h6. You need h6 first to provoke bishop h4 and then bishop d8. Oh my god. And knight e6 works because bishop h4 and then bishop d8 again. So bishop d8 is bishop e3. Oh, that's so nasty. Oh my god. It's like somehow I felt that they didn't have options. And I think it's because like at the start of a position I'm looking at which pieces are loose. And the knight is fine, right? The knight is not in any problem. But as soon as I play bishop d8, the knight is loose. So I guess I need to be more careful about which pieces then become loose in a combination. That's a very nice example. And I think this is also very common when you're like kind of struggling to look for a solution and you find a solution. You're very prone to just like jumping for it because you're like, oh my god, I found something, let me take it. When in fact, actually, if you just looked a bit further, then maybe you can understand it's just like, you know, it's that extra bit of effort to push forward to find out the reason why this is bad. But yeah, that's crazy. Bishop d8. Third place. Wait, Spassky beat Smyslov with this idea. Smyslov gave up a second exchange and continued just for a few moves, yeah, so went wrong very quick. My words can fill a room like a tornado fills a trash can. That's beautiful, Jan. Is that ChatGPT? Because I feel like you probably wouldn't have come up with that. Welcome, Gloin, to the stream. Good morning. Hope you are doing well with your routines. Let's try and squeeze in one final one. Yeah, oh, that's so nice. To not rush with bishop d8. I think that's the kind of like tenacity you need to be a really strong player, just to like never be satisfied with like your ideas. Even if you come up with something great, you're just like constantly pushing to like make sure that it's great, you know? Prepping for a tournament on 20th and 21st, nice. I'm also playing a tournament on the 20th, just a blitz all-day event, which is going to be hell because I've got the Grand Prix, you know, the Chess Mood Grand Prix in the evening as well. So I'm basically just playing from morning to night blitz, which is just horrendous. But yeah, should be fun. Okay, Smyslov against Bielek, Smyslov to win. We've got Queen Rook Rook Bishop Knight against Queen Rook Rook Bishop Bishop. 1 3 5 6 7 7. Slightly different 4v3s on the board. Got tension between the bishops. We've got Rook and Queen battery on the d file. Their bishop on g4 is loose. Their pawn on c6 is loose, so maybe like Queen e4 stuff is like promising. But then again, they could take on e5, which is annoying. So probably we would take first and then play like Queen e4 just to try and pick up a pawn. But having said that, I mean, this pawn is loose as well, so maybe not so clear. Okay, what else is there to note? Rook is potentially x-rayed by this bishop. Knight is loose on a4. Rook keeps the king a bit safe, but maybe a bit passive. Rook is a bit exposed on a8, but ultimately defended. So I feel like this bishop being loose is like, and maybe this pawn being loose is like a big deal. So, okay, what candidates do we have? We have no checks. What about captures? We've got this one capture. Also got knight b6, but that does nothing after takes. And what about threats? We can threaten this bishop in multiple ways, like f3, h3, queen f4, queen e4, queen g3, queen g5. But the thing is, they've always got this capture on e5, which seems to be very annoying. What else is there to try in this position? I don't see what's so weak about black's position. Must be something just small to like win a pawn or something, but how to finesse it. So okay, let's start calculating. So bishop g7, king g7. And let's say we go queen e4. Probably we go rook takes d4. We go queen takes c6. I don't know. I mean, I could also go bishop g7, king g7, queen e5 check. And then on king g8 now go queen e4, if that makes a difference, but I don't see how it does. So what about like queen e4 immediately? Queen e4, bishop takes e5. Maybe pawn takes e5. And then we keep the double threat. Yeah, why not that? Just queen e4 immediately. If they attack, then we can go queen c6. That looks fine. I guess they can play rook c8. And this pawn might be weak. But I guess we can go queen b5. Seems alright. Somehow this feels like our best chance. I mean, they could probably play like bishop d3 or something, and then we can play rook c1. Seems still fine. So I think queen e4 looks the most promising. That's the only. These are literally the only two things I can see that are like potentially weak. And I have a chess lesson starting very soon, so let's try queen e4. Is not correct. Bishop g7 is correct. A magnet exchange followed by a clearance sacrifice. What the hell does this all mean? Magnet exchange. So okay, we're drawing the king. We're like bringing the king to g7, followed by a clearance sacrifice. What does it mean, a clearance sacrifice? It's like clearing something, right? Clearing a file, clearing a square. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, king g7, d5. Wow, to clear the square for queen d4 check and pick up the bishop. That's incredible. Yeah, I don't know. I find these kind of tactics so hard. And I think it's just due to a lack of like formal tactical training. Like these kind of clearance sacrifices, like, oh my god, they're so hard for me to find. But that's amazing. Bishop g7, king g7, d5. Wow, this one in the last exercise was super hard, I think. Like they're simple in terms of like they're not that deep. But like to spot the idea is what's really nice. Okay, I'm glad we saw it second time round. Oh, okay, and then now we can take here, and this is probably fine. Wow, that's really nice. Let's actually compare this to what I suggested, this queen e4. Yo, so queen e4, bishop f5, and this is so bad. Rook c8. I thought I was just chilling here. Engine does not like this one bit. Bishop d1, rook fc1. And says that just black is better despite me being up a pawn. Oh no. Is bishop c4? Oh, it's just back rank stuff? Yeah. That's annoying. Yeah, I could totally see myself going down this rabbit hole thinking I'm fine, and it's completely not fine. But then again, I wouldn't play such a loose position, so I always make this excuse, right? Like, I'm not getting these grim positions where I've got so much pressure on my position. But yeah, bishop g7 and then d5 is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, good pattern recognition for today. So I have a lesson starting in 1 minute, so I better call it a day. Thank you for tuning in, and see you on Monday. Okay, bye.